All right, welcome everybody to Fight Club week number 4. And you know what? I'm already too hyped to get into this because I've got a special co-caster, Elegant, along with me. And so we just got to get right into this. This is going to be the best cast of all time.
Yeah. I'm glad to be back on the airwaves. It's really nice to be here with you, Mr. BC Dagger, and it's really nice to be casting the venerable Fight Club, where we're going to see Koget go up against another opponent and maybe extend his win streak yet again.
Yeah, he is sitting at 15-1. And he's playing against his arch rival, Blackman PL, aka Julia. And we all know that Julia has such a history between all the TLCs and coming down to Fight Club too.
Yeah. Julia is one of those players who's been around for a long time. Everyone's going to know this guy's name. Everyone's going to know this guy's reputation as well. This is exactly the kind of player who you would want on Fight Club because he turns heads with his conduct.
Yeah,
So he's certainly going to be an interesting one to watch.
honestly, I put together like a basic list of questions that I sent to every new player on Fight Club, and I think, okay, this is going to be so generic. I think maybe I need to be a little bit more colorful and creative with these questions. Julia proved me wrong. Like, we have some crazy answers between these games, and I don't even know. I had to censor on 90% of an image to be able to share it with the viewers today. So this is going to be ridiculous.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I'm going to have the stream open for that. You tell me when that's happening
Oh
because
yeah,
yeah,
I'll keep you up to date on when you need to actually have eyes on stream because this is going to be very important.
I
Um,
want to see Julia's personality coming
oh
out.
oh yeah, absolutely. So guys, Flash of the Wind isn't here today, but he will be joining me for the Africa Star League team league battles Saturday and Sunday. And if you aren't aware of those, Elegant, it's going to be Team Bisu versus Team Mind on Sunday, and that is going to be some sort of epic matchup there.
Yeah, that's going to be seriously cool. I haven't been able to watch the team battles yet. I've got most of the way through Team Flash versus Team who are they play against? The Zerg team. Was it Team Effort? No, not Team Effort. Surely not. Team Zero.
Team Hero.
Hero. That's the one. I named every player on the team except for the right one.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's fine. Well, there's only three Zergs, but it's so funny
yeah,
that I don't know if
and
you got
it
to the 2v2, but they rolled both Zergs,
yeah,
even
man.
though Zero went random.
Yeah, and it was pretty clear cut. But it is, I have to tell you, it is absolutely incredible for me to see team play on on offline stage again. It's an unbelievable thing. I
Yeah,
watch it and I actually can't quite believe it's going on. So yeah, you've got to get on board for the team battles if you aren't already.
yeah. The fact that Flash afterwards said that sponsors are just flooding in right now too.
Really
KCM immediately after the ASL actually secured a sponsor. He's been chasing some for the better part of a year, but all of a
amazing.
sudden they're just flooding in now, and so it's really cool that everybody's getting access to it. I hope that we get Kim Carrier back too because he was really disheartened
Yeah.
over the summer, and so he kind of took a sabbatical from everything.
Right, really. Yeah, that's pretty rough, and you got to understand it from his point of view. It is difficult when you're sort of really battling against the current. But yeah, hopefully that success in the rest of the scene spreads over to what he's seeing as well. Because he's another really dedicated guy who's been around for a long time and has tried to do a lot of good stuff for the scene. Um,
Absolutely. So I'm going
yeah.
to switch over to our scene 13 here. I believe I left the scores from the previous matchup available, so I need to set those back to 0-0. Koget does not already have a 4-game winning lead against Julia.
Yugi came late. Yeah, we're just gonna start off from that
six,
point.
6 minutes
May
in,
as
and
well.
Julia's just getting slaughtered.
Well, Koget is an absolute monster, so you never know. We could just
Yeah.
sort of skip through the first four.
All right, so let's go ahead and just jump right into this. Guys, if our volume levels are a little bit off, this is our first cast together. So, go ahead and correct us. I can fix those things on my side, or maybe Elegant can fix it on his side. But Elegant, you do the honors because I can't see colors. So you have to announce the player in the color spot.
You can't see colors. Okay, I'm going to ask why in a second. But in the bottom right-hand corner, spawning in as the purple Zerg, we have Black Man, also known in this case as Julia. And spawning in the top right-hand side as the red Terran, we have Koget. our king of the hill, our one to beat, the master so far of Fight Club. And he is ripe for the slaughter right here. Julia is going to be going at him hammer and nails to try and knock him off that top spot. Because, of course, the way Fight Club works is every time a player stays in, then the bounty on them increases. So Koget is now a very sought-after prize indeed.
Hey, so you are read up on the rules already, aren't you?
Oh, man, I've done my homework. You know, I like to keep it professional. So
I'm currently
yeah,
trying to put your face on the screen here somewhere. Just so you
yeah,
know.
trouble there.
We're gonna shrink you all the way towards the bottom left right now, so you do not have an equal video space, but your face is available for people to see in the smallest micro area possible.
Oh, lovely. Oh, is it that little spot where the unit portraits usually are or something?
No, I'm over the unit portrait. That's the area that I spared for myself.
Oh, so you get the tiny little unit portrait spot. I can't wait to see where I'm going to end up.
Yeah. Oh, so the drone trick already coming down just to get an extra drone out, even though it looks like this is going to be a 12 hatch coming out. We're going to stick with Julia instead of Black Man. I just feel like everybody knows Julia right away, so we'll just stick with that classic name unless he pitches a at some point.
Even I would have been a little hazy on whether Black Man and Julia were the same person, so I think that's wise. And we do have the first Zerglings ready to pop out now for Julia as well.
Yeah,
but he's getting ready to make up the hatchery. Yeah, he's getting ready to throw down the hatchery. So it's not going to be anything crazy. He's just going to get out there and get up a little bit in Koget's face, not even too comfortable. And Koget's going to get down there and scout him in just a second as well.
Yeah, Koget has done a really good job in the previous weeks of dealing with any sort of Zergling pressure, whether it's just a 9-pull speed, any variation, and he just gets his Marines on that ramp with a couple SCVs and deals with it very, very efficiently. Well, it looks like we do have a little bit of lag. I wonder if we can just like set the latency here.
Oh yeah, we can go extra high.
Let's go extra high and see how that benefits us here in this cast. We are casting
across
the waters, so that's always one of those.
Oh, that Marine looks like it's going to go down. The Zerglings are coming in and getting a nice position, and Koget already having to do a big SCV pull, and that Marine dying is a big deal because that means that the AI on the Zerglings is free just to set to on the SCVs, completely unperturbed. And this is a major mistake in the early game from Koget, and he's in so much trouble already.
Marine there. He's gonna have to pull all the SCVs and deal with this like super efficiently if somehow he wants to come out alive, but it looks like he might not.
Yeah, man, hideous stuff for Koget right here. He's lost a whole load of SCVs to these first 6 Zerglings, and this just should not happen. I mean, anyone who knows the matchup will know that basically you're expected to deal with these Zerglings without basically losing anything, and so losing any SCVs
maybe
at all.
lose an SCV or two, but what Koget does very nicely is does basically the floating SCVs. So when you click on the mineral patch, it'll just kind of roll over the units that are clogged up on the ramp. And generally he doesn't lose SCVs, but 1 or 2 is about where you should be, not what Koget just lost.
Oh, and this mining time as well, losing so much mining time and another SCV into the bargain as well. This is a really unpleasant early game for him. He'll be looking forward to just getting these Zerglings cleared out and then trying to recalibrate his mid game and do something with this. But that has put him in a really tough spot. We can see that Julia already with his natural expansion up, he's popped some drones out in the midst of that as well. Only getting a few more Zerglings just to make sure he's safe now. But he's cooking along fairly nicely. Another hatchery coming in as well. Before his main gas, he does have his natural gas up there. That is just starting mining.
Yeah, he is starting his lair up right now, so it'll be a little bit of a later lair, but really his main goal was to be able to just cost Koget a ton of economy. I wonder if those 4 extra Zerglings were really worth it. He's already forced Koget to just, stay inside of his base, build the command center on the high ground. So at this point, he may have been able to save 2 larvae for drone.
Yeah, that's a good point. It doesn't look like those Zerglings are going to be able to do anything for a fair while. But I suppose he just wants to keep his scouting presence up, sort of close to Koget's ramp, without having to sort of risk an overlord and float it over there, and just wants to stay kind of as active as possible, I would suppose.
Yeah, that's a good point. And we see because there is this later gas for Koget, he's going to be late on not only his upgrades from the Academy, but he's not going to be able to go for +1 as quickly as he likes to do because he goes for the standard 5-racks build every time on Circuit Breaker. He doesn't like to deviate from that. But now we're going to see that he's going to be really delayed on +1 because it's going to be really important to really get range and stim to deal with mutas.
Yeah, absolutely it is, and this is the kind of thing which can cause real problems. Not right away. I mean, obviously we don't see Koget dying right now. That wouldn't happen. But this sort of early game issues can cause major issues when it comes to the timing of things like turrets, because those turrets are often so finely timed, and the defense against mutas is often so finely timed that early game issues can sort of throw that off and create real problems going into a mid game against mutas. But actually, we don't have mutas. We have Hydralisk Den already up from Julia, and Aspire now happening as well.
Yeah, we actually saw in one of the ZVTs from the last team battle over the weekend that when the turrets came up late, I'm not going to spoil the game of the players, but when the turrets came up late, that's where mutas got to go through some heavy work on the natural base, and it was really hard for the Terran player to mine. And they had to basically hunker down, turtle up, and go for 2 bases a really long time before they could transition to the mid game.
Yeah, and I totally see why that could happen because you always have to make a trade-off when you take damage, and you're gonna have to cheap out somewhere in order to get back into it. And so if you choose the wrong spot on which to cheap out, then you can end up having some real difficulties. And it looks like Julia's just going to be poking in, trying getting a little bit more damage with these Zerglings. He's not going to be able to get anything quite yet, though. He has managed to grab 1 SCV, so he's just staying active, just staying annoying, keeping Koget on his toes. You can't let a player of Koget's quality get comfortable. Now finally being able to push those Zerglings away.
Yep, and we can see that with the Spire done, the macro mutas is going to be coming out, but there is a Hydralisk Den that's down too, just for any transition after that into lurker play. This is going to be some key mutas though, and something interesting that Koget didn't do besides getting turrets out his natural base is forego a bunker. And now we're actually just seeing that he puts this bunker down now. So he delayed this bunker timing, but it is something that he plays as a standard over these past few weeks to get that bunker out of natural base.
Yeah, this is going to be really stressful now with those mutalisks in, because he's going to be able to micro them back cliff, and this is exactly what can happen if you don't have that turret timing as you want it. And you can see he doesn't have the scans yet. There you go, now his scan goes down, but he's already lost all of his marines, and he doesn't have any missile turrets yet either, so all those marines are going to go down, and it's going to be GG.
Oh, wow!
Taking it.
15-1 Terran over Zerg player here, and he's already lost a game.
Yeah, and that was a straight up defeat. That was almost like one of those defeats where you just end the game. It's like, okay, you were just better that game.
Yeah, well, I
was
have
just
an explanation for you. I saved this off, but I have a single message that comes from Koget, and on an explanation for game number 1. No spoilers. But let me see, I'm loading it up right now. Just he says, P.S. Sorry for game number 1. I had a 38 degree, I'm imagining Celsius, fever, and a terrible flu.
Damn.
Yeah, so Koget, not only is he having to play against one of his rivals here, but he's also having to compete with the flu. So, you know, God decided he was going to nerf Terran by making the user of Terran sick.
Yeah, okay, that does explain 1 or 2 things, because that was, it was fine, it was respectable, but it was like a worse player losing to a better player. It wasn't hideous, but that's I mean, kind of reassuring to know that there was something up. But
yeah, it's always reassuring to know that someone has the flu.
you know what I mean, though. Yeah.
Yes, I do. Okay, so everybody's trickled in at this point, and I know that people want to learn some Julia facts. So we're just going to take a 1-minute break, read a little bit about Julia, and then we'll get right back into this.
Awesome.
All right, Elegant. Have you read the first Julia fact?
Yeah, that's a goodie, isn't it?
What? So, what is most surprising about this fact? Is it the fact that koalas are bloodthirsty mammals, or that Julia is like a koala on meth and Viagra?
It's just the whole combination of it is just a deeply surprising answer. You have to wonder what kind of human being comes up with that answer when asked what animal are you most like. I just can't imagine what happens in your mind to create that answer. To even know in the first place that koalas are such mean little buggers, and then to decide you are one on the spur of the moment, that takes some.
It does.
That's unique. That is unique.
You know what Julia forced me to do? I had to go to there's that option. Everybody's used it, especially if you're a guy. There's like the private tabs or the incognito tabs. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had to go to those to actually Google images for Julia's answers. And so I Googled koala on Viagra, and this is literally what comes up. But Julia provided this image to me through private message. This is the only image I did not did paste myself. This came from him, and I'm just like, okay, so koalas on Viagra, this is a real thing.
Wow. I mean, there's no actual evidence that koala is on Viagra unless you've chopped off the evidence down there at the bottom of the screen. I don't know.
It's just beautifully cut off here, but clearly this is the leaf version, and not the
It gets hideous below there. Yeah, obviously. That's the raw version. It's just like picking some Viagra off the tree. That's how it grows.
Exactly. So, yeah, this is the kind of quality show that we're trying to get sponsorship for, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, thank you to Julia for making the sponsorship dollars more like just start flooding in.
All right, so I've got the next game
sponsors
loaded here, just so you know. Just go ahead and join with the usual. And we've got a new map. And this is a new foreign-made map, if you're not familiar with it, called Overwatch. Actually, you may have cast a few Overwatch games. It's one of the ones that's been consistent over the past couple years.
Maybe I have. I feel like I may have done, but I've been AFK with casting so long that I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to see once we get in there.
Yeah, I think it was like one of the final TLC maps. Like
Okay, all right. Okay, then I probably did cast it.
But here we go. We've got a 2-player map here, and go ahead and shout out the colors and positions. By the way, I am colorblind, but people just are convinced that I don't have eyes in my sockets because they don't have any proof. We'll just go with that. I am eye socket empty.
How you do it, Misudego, I don't even know. It is a privilege to watch you baffle your way through a cast without even being able to see what the hell's going on by sound only.
Exactly.
Unbelievable stuff. Okay, so spawning into the top left-hand corner as the orange Zerg, we have Mr. Blackman, aka, for the purposes of this cast, Julia, going 1-0 up so far. And spawning into the bottom right-hand corner as the... oh my god, my mouse is going out of my StarCraft. We cannot have that. Spawning into the bottom right-hand corner, I hate it when that happens, as the brown Terran, we have Mr. NW Koget, the current king of the hill. And loser of game number 1. He's going to have to do something a little bit more convincing in the coming games.
He's going to have to dig into the Terran bag of BS, pull out all of the terrible builds that defeat you within several minutes.
Well, he's making a start. I mean, we already have a barracks going down at the natural, not that that's anything special. And we do have a supply depot going down as well. I was hoping we were going to see a second barracks or something crazy, because of course this is a 2-player map. So if he was going to do some kind of early game cheese, then this would have been the spot to do it. But nothing going on as of yet.
Yeah, there is another map in this pool that he actually goes straight to Stargate on every game, and so I'm hoping that we at least get to that point. Koget has just, I think there's 1 or 2 maps where he just loves teching up really fast and going by air and showing how Zerg can play weak if they don't read the Terran player correctly throughout the entire series of events.
Yeah. Man, you are sounding fairly negative suddenly on Koget's chance. You're like, no, I really hope we get that far, you know. Whereas at the beginning of the cast, you would have just been like, yeah, we'll get that far. Koget 5-1, easy.
Well, no. It's because there's 9 maps, 9 unique maps, and so if they decide to play all the rest are going to be Korean maps, then we could see the end of this series go either way without seeing another foreign map.
Yeah, true that. And we have the drone coming out and
Look
doing
at
its little bit of
this,
scouting.
Elegant. We've got a bunker.
Whoa, hello. And it's
Yeah,
in a cheeky spot as well.
This is a short walk distance rush area. So no doubt him putting the bunker down here. But wow, the drones getting behind that are just incredible.
Oh, nice though. Nice micro from Koget. And is he going to be able to get into the bunker? It looks like he will be able to sneak this right into the bunker. Oh.
How does that happen? Julia actually pulls off a great drone drill, but does everything but actually prevent this bunker and marine from happening.
Yeah, that was a beautiful drone drill. Just faltered a little bit in the end there when it came to preventing that marine from getting in. And now, did Koget just kill his own marine? I think he just killed his own marine.
No. I think the drones got within range. They were able to track it down. But 6 drones right now. 6 drones are just marine hunting. And they're trying to do everything they can to prevent from getting inside this natural base. That was a really nice drone trick again. Julia's showing some nice micro here.
Oh, and they kill one another. Look at that. Both doing damage at the same time, and both the drone and the marine just pop simultaneously. And Koget still is now stopping from making marines and sending them over to Julia's base, choosing instead just to make marines and save them for defense. And he's going to be able to defend just fine if he's got a complete wall there at his natural, with his CC now on the way up as well. But he may have to make a bunker back at home just for security purposes. I don't know. I don't know what that means either. But yeah, I feel like we shouldn't translate it.
I don't, but maybe it's already gone. Jaka Mappa. I think that he's trying to speak like Jabba the Hutt.
Well, he's managed that.
The next time we see text, I'll read it in a Jabba the Hutt voice. Now that we've nailed down what language he's coming from here, hailing from the regions of Tatooine, is Julia.
Thinking about that, the most obvious thing that would mean would be joke map.
Don't
do it. Don't do it, man.
Alright, that's it. I'm cutting off. We need to stay safe. Unfortunately, these Polish players just say terrible things between each other.
Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe he's saying, good marine control, I'm very impressed.
Yeah,
you're clearly
we'll go with
the adversary.
What a gentlemanly Zerg player we've just come across here. No other Zerg player said such nice things to Koget in previous games.
We need to know the Polish word for lag, just so we know when that comes in.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be lag, or it'll be like an immediate GG.
Lagger. Yeah, we'll know when it happens. So Julia now making up an earlier layer than we saw in the last game. He's now on 2 hatches only. He's got his natural, he's got his main gas, and that's coming in earlier than it was last game. So his timing is going to be ahead of where it was last time. But similarly, Koget, his timing is going to be far superior from what it was last game. We now see that he has a decent marine count sported there. His natural, he's pumping out the SCVs nicely, and he's actually cooking along at a far better pace. Maybe that fever clearing up a little bit right now.
Yeah, that, or, he just swallowed the entire bottle of liquid Tylenol to get him through this, and he's got like 1 hour before he'll pass out. But you can see what I was talking about in the last game is that this engineering bay, the +1 starts first, even before the academy, and Terran players are really loving getting this faster +1 out, and then following up with the academy upgrades, and the Marines are so strong that you can go lesser on turrets. It means that you maybe only need 2 or 3 turrets instead of 4, 5, or even 6 if you don't have the upgrades on your Marines.
Yeah, it's a ballsy way to go though, because of those Marines are fragile. Just a few control errors. If you get trapped beneath a cliff, if it just gets a bit ugly for a short amount of time, then the mutas can wreak havoc on your Marine count. And once the Marine count sort of falls below a certain critical mass, then you're going to have so much trouble dealing with mutas, and the mutas are just going to pick you off all day. So it really is a sort of a more advanced style to go lighter on the missile turrets.
Yeah, we
and to
actually
rely more
only
heavily on
saw
the
that
Marines.
one single game that Koget lost was to exactly what you're saying. He got 2 behind on that Marine count, and the Mutomicro was so good that it was able to punish Koget at a really surprising pace that we saw here. But Koget, his biocontrol has been far above all, which is why he's had such a dominant PvZ record.
Yeah, so if anyone can pull it off, it's him. We've got the 4 racks coming in now, and the missile turret's just starting as well. We've got 1 missile turret going down in the natural mineral line, missile turret only in the main.
I gotta ask you if I'm seeing things here, because I never noticed this before. Go to that top right base that this drone is about to take, and is there a rock tumor growing out of this Vespene geyser?
No, you see, that's growing from beneath the geyser, and it's sort of covering up.
It's beneath. It's a tunnel into the deeper, more richer Vespene gas.
Exactly. It's just, yeah, it's like a weird rock mushroom that grows out of Vespene gas sometimes. Just sprouts on up. I always used to think when I was little and I was playing StarCraft that I could do things to these map artifacts if only I could press the right button. We do have a zergling pressure coming in at the front of the Terran base, and the Mutes is now coming in to back that up, but they weren't able to take down either of those supply depots, so it was actually a complete waste from Julia just throwing his units against it. I don't know quite why he did, and he's totally unprepared for the Terran push coming at him on the other side of things.
Sunkens he has inside of this natural base. He's got to get all of his mutas back, but still, without having these Sunkens, he can take some pretty heavy hits on these Mutalisks trying to defend his drones.
Yeah, he's going to take some really bad hits onto his Mutalist unless his micro is absolutely perfect at a terrifying rate. Pretty much 1 Mutalist every time he comes in for a volley. More Mutalists just falling. It's going to be absolutely all he can do to get rid of those Marines, and it may not even be able to do that. And here we go! Lagging.
That's the longest GG I've ever seen, but we'll count it. That's the Polish GG.
Oh, it's amazing. I love how predictable Julia is. Oh my god, it's great. After that koala answer, everything is as it should be.
What a reckoning at the end there, and so we're gonna have a tying score, and it looks like finally getting over that flu. Only apologizing for 1 game, so I wonder how this will go.
All right, okay. So we're gonna see a 5-1 probably, judging by that.
We'll see. We'll see if he can turn this around. If he turns this into a 5-1, I'll throw a $10 bonus on his prize for today. So
wow,
Koget, you've got something you're fighting for.
Yeah, that's pretty serious. Beast Dagger putting up the cash. Right, but that was a pretty one-way game.
We've got another Julia fact that we've got to get to here.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
so
bring it on.
I'm going to mute up for a minute and give you guys this next delightful piece of information. All right. Elegant. What do you think about the things that Julia is willing to eat?
I don't even know what half of them are. What is this? What am I looking at? Is that like a cross between a pig and a Komodo dragon? What?
These are real animals. The rare shark horse down at the bottom.
What? Did he send you this?
Oh, I brought up the images. He just says if it was alive and moved, I will eat it. So I googled living creatures.
I think you mis-googled BC Dagger. I'm pretty sure that whatever the hell that is in the top right is not a living creature. I'm 100% sure.
I think that's if Dr. Seuss's characters came to life and then like terrorized you. That's the top
It's
right. It's like Horton.
it's actually the oldest man in the world. Oh, that's so
dear.
creepy.
But the spider down at the bottom left creeps me out the most. Imagine watching a dude eat that. That's like Discovery Channel worthy.
Yeah, Bear Grylls just comes on and crunches that down.
Guys, if you're being entertained by Julia facts, by the way, please donate because that's what you should do when you're happy.
Yeah, if you're happy and you know it, click the button and pay money to this beautiful tournament. That should be the new children's song. Did you know that song? If you're happy and you know it, clap your
Oh
hands.
yes, oh yes.
Yeah, well, if you're happy and you know it, click the donate button because that's the kind of thing that keeps Brutal alive and kicking.
Yeah, and so people are having a little bit trouble with the stream. I'm not sure what's causing that, but I am closing down everything that I don't need. I'm gonna close down the donation box, but guys, just know that the donations still come in. I'm gonna close down the alert box, so the alert box is shut down now too. Hopefully that helps things out. I'm not sure. I don't run Twitch. No one knows how that magic machine actually functions.
That's just a wizard somewhere. Nobody knows. It is just magic.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Now we're going to Cardinal Allen's beauty here. Cardinal Allen renamed himself, by the way, and I don't remember what he renamed himself to, but he's a map maker, and his crowning map and achievement, he says, is Crown and Scepter, and it's a fighting spirit type of altered map. And so I'm really excited to see how this one's going to get played out here. Maybe players wanted to plan it because it is similar to Fighting Spirit. But let me go ahead and switch over to scene 13, guys. All right, let's do this, Elegant.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
I forgot to send these maps to you.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll be there in a second. We'll have to wait. These kids these days. Mm-hmm. When back in my